Hello there and welcome back to Pallegney. It's a nice September morning here. Looks like we've got a nice sunny day ahead of us. So let's get started for the day. I'm gonna have a sprightly whip over my garden fence just to help wake me up. Guess the coffee I had this morning is really working. And before we get started, you may have noticed that the layout of the farm has changed slightly. So at the end of the last episode, I had the silo where the grain mill is right now, and I had the grain mill right next to it. And you also may remember that when we checked the amount of wheat in the grain mill, that it was showing the full amount from the harvest, even though we'd only dumped half of it into the grain mill and half of it into the silo. And then subsequently, when we started production of bread, the amount of wheat in the silo went up to over 300,000. I think there's some kind of bug there where if you place the buildings too close to each other, the product you dump into them gets double registered or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, I found a mod that gives full refunds when you sell buildings. I split the buildings out, so hopefully that won't happen again. And then I readjusted my money to be somewhere around where it was at the end of the last episode. I think it may be a couple of thousand less, but it's pretty much there. A couple of other things I've changed or modified. You may remember in the last episode I mentioned extended animal pastures. I was playing around with that mod and I couldn't really figure out how it worked, so I have removed it. We've just got standard animal pastures for the rest of this playthrough, which is a shame because I would have liked to have the extended functionality, but I would rather have something that I know how to operate and that doesn't take up too much of my time. And also, I don't know if you were able to tell or not, but I was having some issues with my mouse and Xbox controller disconnecting from Bluetooth. I've managed to get that resolved now, thankfully, because it's really frustrating when you have cruise control active and your controller disconnects just as you're about to reach the end of a row and your vehicle goes crashing into something. I've even been able to increase the display resolution a little. Now I know it's not the graphics settings causing the issue, so hopefully it's a better experience for everyone. And one final note, I noticed while editing this together that the camera movement isn't very smooth. I found a setting in my recording software that was causing this and I have fixed it. But as I've already recorded episodes 2 and 3, you may notice the rough movement for the next couple of episodes. But please bear with me, it will be back to normal in episode 4. Okay. Let's think and talk about what we're going to do today. First of all, I'm going to get some chickens and feed them some wheat so they start producing eggs. We've got about 175,000 euros left, and the chicken coop cost about 79,000. So that's my first job. And then we're going to pick up the bales from around the field. And then we will purchase a soil map. And we'll check the pH for the rest of this field out here. And then we will spread some lime on it. And I think we're going to plant some mustard in the field. It's the last month of the season for planting mustard. And mustard seems to be something unique to the Pallegney map. So we're going to plant some mustard and that will grow throughout the next year. And that's the plan for today. We'll see how we go once we've completed that. We might also complete a harvesting contract if there are any available. So enough talking, let's get started. First of all, let's take a look at the chicken coops. So we go into the animals tab, go to chickens, and I am just going to buy the big chicken coop. 360 chickens. We will be getting more of these, but we're just going to do one for now. And we're going to place it... Let's see. I think we're going to place it around here. Yeah, we'll place it... I'll place it just there, I think. So we can place the next one there. We can have 2 to 3 eventually in a row here. I think that's a good place. Where does it produce the eggs? Produces the eggs this side. So maybe if I turn it around that way, and then the input is on that side, the output is on that side, and that's easy to grab. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's buy some chickens. And we'll go into our animal dealer. Let's take a look. Some chicks there. We've got some female chickens. Oh, we have ducks as well. That's interesting. Must be one of the animal mods I've downloaded. I've downloaded an animal-related mod. I haven't really paid too much attention to how it works right now, so I will take a look at that. And maybe in a future episode we will get some ducks. Let's stick with the chickens for now. 60 chickens, 420. And we'll get 60 more. And then I think we'll also need, I believe something related to this animal mod is the chickens needing roosters to breed. So let's get a couple of roosters in there. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, that's the chickens done. Let's go over, pay them a little visit. Hello, chickens. Clucking away nice and happily. And got their little inside area here too. Let's feed them some wheat to keep them fed. Head over to our tractor. And I believe the chicken coop takes around 10,000 litres, so we'll give them, I think it's 9 or 10,000, so we'll give them that for now. And we'll keep an eye and make sure they don't run out of food. Let's check our animals tab. Let's see how they're doing. Yeah, they've got 9,000 as capacity, so we've given them almost their 9,000 there. They do use a lot of food. That's a part of the mod, the food requirements. So 2,000 litres per month of the game. That's considerable. Well, they've got enough there for 4.5 months, and we have a little bit left over. We might end up needing to purchase some more wheat. We're definitely going to have to plant some wheat, and I'm planning on buying a field next month to do that. Let's put our tractor back where we found it. Next on the list is picking up the bales. Our little Manitou forklift that we got a great discount for in the shop. Let's pick up these remaining few bales. I think we got 5 there. Yeah, we got 5. Okay, that's the bales collected. Park our forklift over here and switch it off. Let's just take a quick look at how many bales we've got in there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 bales. So that'll be a nice 10,000 euros or so. Let's take a quick look at prices. So for straw, around January they sell for 88 euros per 1,000 litres. So that'll be a nice 11,000 euros when the time comes. Okay, so next up, let's buy a... Let's look at the rest of this field. Let's go into our precision farming. Now, as mentioned, I am a little bit of a noob when it comes to precision farming. I've watched the very basics of other people playing, and I have read some forum posts, so I think I have a basic understanding. And I believe the first thing you need to do is buy a soil map. Unfortunately, it looks like the soil map is for the whole plot. It doesn't take into account if you have concreted over some of the field, but that's okay. I know you can buy a vehicle that will do the soil sampling, but for this playthrough I'm just going to be purchasing soil information. I don't really have too much money left. I don't want to be spending money on a vehicle that we use sometimes, and then once we have money we'll probably get bored of it. So I'd rather just have this incremental outlay. It will probably cost me more overall, but it's an incremental outlay month by month or whenever we need to purchase a soil map, and it's more suitable overall. So we're going to purchase this soil information. And if we now go over to the pH level, I'm not too sure whether the optimal pH level is crop specific or whether it's just higher the better across the board. I know from my research that lime improves the pH level, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment with liming the soil, even though the pH value is pretty high, so maybe we don't need to. The nitrogen is basically 0, and I know the nitrogen is related to fertilizer yield, looking at 85% for most of the area we have left. And it looks, if we compare the yield map to the pH map, it looks very similar in the way it's mapped out. What I'm going to do is buy a lime and fertilizer spreader. I'm going to get the machine that can do a combination of both, because we will need to use them eventually anyway. I'm going to try liming this part of the field just as an experiment to see if it changes the pH level and how it changes it. So let's head over to the store. And we'll find our fertilizer spreaders. I believe we have to go with the Bridal fertilizer spreader. We do have this Kubota one. I don't like it though because the extension on it gives you 10,000 litres, and it's obviously so much smaller than this huge tank, and this can only take 9,000. So I think I'm going to go with this. Let's see. It does do 42 meters, which is really handy though. What to do? How much is the extension? You know what? I'm going to go with this. We're not doing an ultra realistic playthrough, so I don't need to worry about the fact it can handle so much. Let's see what color. Oh, we can choose any color we want for the body. Well, seeing as we are all in green for our harvester, our tractor, and our trailer, let's stick with green. We'll go with John Deere green, and then the cover. There we go. It's just a slightly different shade of green, and then that's fair to the John Deere harvester and the Fendt tractor. Means they both have an equal stake in colour on our new fertilizer spreader and are less likely to be sitting in the vehicle shed at night squabbling over which one is my favourite. Let's pick up some lime and then we'll head over to the shop and pick up our new toys. I am going to just park this trailer away quickly just to keep it tidy. Start as you mean to continue, because otherwise our farm will become a complete mess with trailers hanging around everywhere, and we don't want that. Okay, so we're back at our farm, and see, I know this 42 meters is extremely wide, so let's see exactly how wide it is. What do we have here? Change nutrient reference value, so there. Okay, let's switch it on. And we are liming our field. You can see the current value alongside the target value there. What I'm not sure about is what that target value represents, or how it is affected by the different crops you plant. So we will find that out as we go along, and I will keep you updated. If anyone watching knows exactly how pH value works, please feel free to leave a comment and educate those of us with lesser knowledge. Wow, we're really going through this lime. Used 40% of the tank already. Almost half the tank for 2 passes. Just got the one more pass to do, and I'm definitely going to be reducing our working width here. Just make sure we're in the center, roughly. And what do we think? So I bring the help up. We can change the working width, change it to 30 meters maybe. Is that going to be sufficient? I don't know. Let's see. Not quite. So let's just go over to the side here, and we will get the little strip on our way back. Probably should have left it at the full width. I'm just being cheap and trying to save as much lime as possible. Now we're definitely going to need the smallest working width for this. Okay. And that's our field limed. So next job is to buy a seeder. Now I don't think I'm going to have enough money to buy a direct seeder that's going to be able to work with precision farming. So I'm probably going to have to take out a loan. Willing to take out loans to purchase large pieces of equipment. And I will also introduce you to the custom loan system mod that I've downloaded. Okay, let's drop that off here. And switch off our engine. Let's take a look at a seeder and some seeds. I think whichever seeder we get, it will pay for itself fairly quickly. I do want one that can direct drill because I don't want to buy a cultivator. And this is the cheapest one that can direct drill, the Pottinger. So we have this 109,000 and 4,000 litres, 120,000 and 5,500 litres, and slightly faster speed. That looks like a good option there. Give us an extra 2 kilometers an hour, which doesn't seem like much, but faster the better. We can pass our fields, we can get more done in each day. And this one's slightly wider working width. Let's see what the horse is actually. The horse is 3 meters. It also has a 6 meter working width, and it's a little bit faster. So maybe this horse is the one that we want. It's cheaper, faster, and has a lower power requirement than the Kuhn. I think this is just to ensure that it is direct drill. We could go with a 3 meter working width direct drill, but I don't want to go with that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this horse for now. 106,000. And I'm going to borrow the exact amount. Let's take a look at this. So, tank setup. Do we want the extra seeds? Do we need the extra seeds? Extra seeds would be good, I think. Do we need a tyre roller? I'm not sure if this actually serves any purpose in the game or whether it's just aesthetic. Seems a little excessive if it is just aesthetic, so I'm going to leave it off. And also not sure what a row controller is. If anyone has any further information on either of those two things, whether they actually serve any purpose or whether they're just aesthetic, please let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to find out. So I need 108,000 euros. Let's go speak to our delightful bank manager. So the loan system I'm using, I don't remember the name of the mod, but I will link it below. It allows you to borrow a custom amount rather than just borrow money in 5,000 euro increments. And rather than just paying off interest until you have enough money to pay back the loan, you actually pay a certain amount every month that gradually reduces the loan. So let's take a loan out, and we want to take 108,000 euros. And let's say we want to pay it off over 5 years. 2,000, almost 2,000 euros a month, and a repayment amount of 117,000. So just under 10,000 euros in interest. So let's take that loan. And we can, of course, pay it back. We're using the special redemption option. If we make enough money, which I'm hoping we do, we'll be able to pay it off before the 60 months is up. Okay, so purchasing that for 108,000. And let's head back over to the store and pick it up. Okay, so we're back at the farm. Give a little bit of a wide swing around here, just to make sure our seeder doesn't hit the bridge. Don't want an expensive bridge repair bill on my hands ever, especially not right now though. And that would definitely ruin my reputation here. Let's unfold our seeder. We can get our first seed sowed. Okay, we are almost done with our mustard seeding, our first crop of the game. We've just got one last strip to do, and then we will take a look at the state of the field, see if we need to do any more work on it, and then we can maybe look at completing a contract. Okay, let me just get that little straggly bit up here. I think you're escaping without mustard this season. That's not happening. Exploring the limits of the working width of our seeder. Just this end bit here. Gonna have to do another half pass, but that's okay. Okay. That's our seeding complete, or almost complete. I see one little piece over here that I'm not going to let escape. And I know I'm just driving across my freshly seeded field. But I'm sure the mustard seeds don't mind. Okay, we're done. Let's fold up the seeder. And turn around here. Switch off our engine and let's see the state of the field to see if there's any further work required for now. Obviously going to need to fertilize it, but I believe that should be done next month. Go up here, crop types, growth, soil composition, so it needs rolling. Now I should roll it. I think it gives us a small harvest bonus, so let's take a look in the store and see what we have in terms of rollers. I downloaded a few mods because there's only really two basic rollers in the game. Got the two Dalbos there. So what else do we have? We have this roller here. How much is this? So this is 12.3 meters, 41,000. And we have these two here. We'll pick that up and we'll head over to the store once again. And we are almost done rolling this field. One last pass to do here. Something I like about the 10, 11, 12 meter rollers is they don't require too much maneuvering. You can just kind of spin the tractor around 180 and it's almost in line with the next row to do, which is quite handy. And there's also something about a nicely rolled field. Just looks so symmetrical, doesn't it? Okay, and that is us done with the rolling, so we'll fold up our roller. It's like a butterfly folding its wings away. Alright, let's where are we going to put this? It doesn't fit there, so we'll give it a space in our shed. I'm feeling kind today. And that's our rolling complete. So let's take a look at our map, and let's now check. Yep, the needs rolling thing has gone. I think the only thing we missed out on was the weeding. We'll remember to do that for the next field. We'll leave the fertilizing until next month. And what's the yield so far? It's not looking too great. But I think that's post-harvest yield, isn't it? It doesn't show you how much the expected yield is. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. I believe it doesn't update until after you've harvested, because there's no way to know how much yield you've gotten. That would be cheating, I guess. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for this episode. This month we will buy an additional field to sow wheat in so we can keep our chickens fed, and we'll look at completing a contract for one of our neighbours. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Of course, if you are enjoying following along, please consider liking and subscribing to stay up to date as I release new episodes. Thank you as always for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye for now.